The first card you have is your current position coming into the month. All right. So the Fool. Again, why, Leo? Are you going to be 50-50 or we'll see? But the Fool is the beginning of the major arcana, okay? So the arcana it starts with the Fool and ends with the World. And it's a cycle that some people complete 10 cycles of, and it's a cycle that some people don't get through the entire cycle. It just depends on your life and what is surrounding you and what you've been through. The Fool is somebody who decides, do I take a risk and, jump off this cliff in hopes that I land softly? Or do I stick safely and go with something that maybe I know could happen or wouldn't happen? Basically, the Fool is footloose, fancy-free, volleyness, new beginnings, a new start, a new chapter, a new beginning in everything. Or am I being a little too carefree and taking chances or risks that maybe I'm not ready for? But in your case, Leo, I feel like this is very much saying the Fool is like a new beginning. Now, I'm not saying, and cross watchers, don't freak out. It's a first card or a second card, technically. But it could be a new beginning with this person as well. So let's see what the rest of the cards have to say. But I love the Fool for you because, again, it makes me feel like dancing. It makes me feel like footloose, go watch the musical, go watch the movie, whatever, kick off your Sunday shoes. You get my drift. All right. So the next card you have is how you're feeling coming into the month. And you have the Queen of Wands. So he or she, I don't apply sex to the cards ever, but this is somebody who's very confident, who's feeling full of ferocity, very magnetic. Again, this is how you're feeling. So Leo, it feels like this is a long time coming. So these signs that you were supposed to see last month, maybe coming into November, going throughout the end of the year. Again, time is fluid. So it's not like, oh, this is strictly November and this is strictly December and this last month was strictly October. No, all of this could interlap. But the Queen of Wands is somebody who is going, I know my self-worth. I know what I deserve. I know who I deserve. I know what type of people I want to be around. And I feel like you're revving up for the end of this year. There's like an explosive energy here. If you can't tell, I'm being I can feel it myself, like this, like bubble till it bursts feeling going on right now. And I kind of feel like this Queen of Wands is representing this, saying, new or old, I don't give a shit as long as it's good for me, as long as it's somebody who is deserving of me and I'm deserving of them. It's a reciprocation here, Leo, that you've been waiting for, wanting. Is it new or old? We'll figure out, or we'll see what it's leaning towards. The next card you have is your distant past. Could be 5-10 years ago, your childhood. Now, the Three of Pentacles is teamwork, a togetherness, a partnership, but the Three of Pentacles often represents a third-party situation. Now, I'm going to say, Leo, immediately they're telling me this is two of a kind, meaning you either witnessed, I'm not meaning to point that finger, sorry. You either witnessed, some of you might be like, hey, screw you, pertaining to the situations I'm about to talk about, because some of you, I feel like this is like a parent or somebody you watched leave their spouse, like a mom or a dad leave, or a grandparent leave, or a sister or brother, some sort of third-party situation that you maybe grew up with, which then brought along maybe insecurity issues or abandonment issues. Maybe, your mom left or your dad left, or there was not necessarily left you, but left for another person. So again, I feel like this is a twofer, because I feel like not only did you experience this when you were younger, and again, general read, if it doesn't pertain to you, it doesn't pertain to you. But I feel like at some point you witnessed a third party that affected your life at a younger age, or in a time when you couldn't control it, which is now built up some insecurities or certain things you've had to get over to overcome this. And then I feel like when I say twofer, this is something you experience yourself. Now, whether it's with this person or not, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's with this current person you're thinking about, or that you're not speaking with, or that you have little communication with, but it's almost, the universe is almost saying, look, you've dealt with this in the past, you've overcome it, you'll overcome it again, but there's a newness or a freshness or this happened to me personally. Not that when you were younger, it didn't happen to you personally, but it wasn't your relationship. Yes, and I don't need all the comments about, what do you mean? Like, yes, of course, it was my parent or whatever. I get that, but I'm talking about, wasn't your romantic or marriage, etc., if that makes sense. All right. So the next card you have is your immediate past. So over the past few weeks, past month or two, and you have the Eight of Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords, if you see my channel, I'm very clear on this card because I always say, put a shirt on before you go outside. This person is somebody who is confused. They're self-imprisoning them. You're creating your own reality and then complaining about it if it's not what you want, and yet you have the ability to change it to what you want, okay? The Eight of Swords is self-imprisonment. It's confusion. It's self-doubt. It's thinking, I can't be without this person, or I can be without this person, but what if that was a bad decision? You're like conflicting your own self, Leo. You're confusing yourself with this card. The past few weeks, past month or two, I feel like this is why the Wheel of Fortune is stepping in here, because you're going to have one clear guided decision on, do I start a new beginning by myself with somebody new, or do I start, or by yourself? Just say, hey, for shits and giggles, I'm not going to date anybody or talk to anybody for a while because it's all about me. It's all about me. I don't care about anybody else but me. But this is telling me that very clearly you're on the fence of, do I start something new or do I go back to the old? Do I start something new with the old? Because right here, I always say in this card, right, that he or she could easily walk out the front door. They're putting themselves over the swords. Nobody's doing it to you. Nobody's forcing you. You can make that decision on your own, what you want to do. And the Eight of Swords is saying, what are you going to do? Are you going to flail over here and go, but I'm going to fall on these swords? Or are you going to walk out the front door? And like I said before, put a shirt on before you walk out the front door. You have the ability right now, Leo, to manifest what you want, to get what you want. You have a new beginning coming, whether it's a clean slate with nobody you know, whether it's a clean slate with just you and your dog, cat, kids, whatever it is, or a new slate with this person. This is saying, hey, Leo, wake up and realize that you control your destiny at this point. There's nothing that is locking you down. Now, yes, I'm sure you're going to say, they ghosted me. They're not talking to me. Okay, then make a decision based on that for now. There's not a finality here. People always think that if a read goes one way or if your life goes one way, that it's final, that it can never come back around. But I made the example with somebody, and I don't know if it was your sign or not, but there were 2 signs last month. I gave the example of a friend of mine that I know very well, who she and her boyfriend broke up after 3 years, okay? Couple years later, I don't know, they broke up after a few years. They didn't have kids, they were married, whatever. Couple years later, they bump into each other. They contact each other. They re-meet. Now they're married with kids, and it's been 10 years. So there's no finality here. People always think, if it's not happening right now, and it's breaking my heart, it's not cut and dry. If it's meant to be, if this Wheel of Fortune, the universe, is meant to come in and say, hey, Leo, right now is your time to get out and shine and do something else, then get out and shine and do something else. If they're ghosting you, if they're not talking to you, if they're being a fucktard, then guess what? Then don't do it now. But just because you don't do it now, or just because you think, well, if I leave now, you're imprisoning yourself in this thought process of, well, if I leave now, or if I'm not around, then they'll never come back, or they may think, no, if this person loves you and cares about you deeply enough, none of that will matter. Just like cross watchers, as this can be reversed, if Leo loves you and cares about you that much, this doesn't have to end. There's this, again, like I said, a finality. And my dad used to say I should be a lawyer because I continuously repeat myself. But that's not a bad thing, because I'm trying to impose upon you the fact that 2 years from now, 2 months from now, it could be completely different. You need to do you right now, Leo. If a new fresh start is, I'm going to join the gym tomorrow and I'm going to become a vegan, then freaking great. If your start is, I'm going to travel around the world and drink mimosas all day, do whatever you feel you want to do. The point is, this right now, Leo is saying you are in control of your destiny. And whatever makes you nervous, whatever has made you feel kept down or insecure, or things that you've dealt with that have affected possible relationships, or things that these people you've been in relationships with have affected you, don't stop. Take a breath and say, what does Leo want? What do I want? What do I deserve? And go from there. Enough with the self-doubt and the confusing, what do they want? Who cares? Do what you want to do. And I know you're like, oh, easier said than done, and I love them. I get that. But there is nothing keeping you guys from getting back together when the time is right. The next card and you could say, oh, well, they're married. Trust me, stranger things have happened. All right, the next card you have is your distant future. Okay, so this is over the next few months. And you have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is about stagnation, not moving, disappointment. This is slow moving. Now, what I'm saying here, I actually think this is kind of brilliant. Although you may be like, what? It's slow moving, it's stagnation, it's disappointment. No, this is telling me that Leo, in the past, you have rushed back to this person, or they've rushed back to you. This to me isn't saying they're not coming back or that you're not coming back. This to me is saying, slow it down. If you want one cup, the one cup you want, but you don't want these other cups, then don't rush it. And if they're trying to rush it, don't buy into the rushing. There's nothing here that needs to be rushed. I feel like there's a newness, a freshness, again, a beginning of a cycle for you. And the cycle may just be your own, Leo, to hold on to. The cycle may have nothing to do with anybody fucking else other than you and what you have to offer and what you have to gain in life. Stop thinking about what everybody else is doing or what they're thinking. Focus on what you're doing. Start your new cycle. And if this person comes along and you guys can gradually make it happen, then fantastic. The next card you have is your immediate future over the next few weeks, next month or so, throughout the month of November. And you have the Queen of Swords. So this is kind of what I was wondering about, and it's presented itself. The Queen of Swords is somebody who is very honest, very insightful, understand things, but also can be very critical. There are doors here, Leo, that have not been closed. There's closure that has not been had, but you're ready to move on regardless. I feel like you're one of the signs this month who's not going, well, who is she? Or who is he? Or what are they up to? Or what? You're like, all right, do your own thing. Great. Have fun with that. I'm going to be over here kicking it with my new style, turning the wheel, figuring out new things. And the Queen of Swords is somebody who, if poked in the right direction, and excuse me, that's not meant to sound like that, but if poked in the right direction, he or she is, can be very critical. And so I feel like you're almost at the point where you're like, I don't want to know. When you're ready to come back and apologize, or when you're ready to come back and we can have a fresh start together, great. But whatever this third party energy or whatever this, why I'm always doubting myself around you, isn't going to happen. I've found the insight and the honesty of everything that's gone on between us. And I plan on writing on that. And the Queen of Swords is saying, exactly. She's saying, this month is my month. And if you come and you bring it, great. Then you brought it. And let's see where it goes. If you come and you don't bring it, and it's just a fairy tale, and you just tell me what you think I want to hear, then I'm going to sharpen my swords and kick you to the curb. The next card you have is anything you're going to tangibly see throughout the month. Could be the beginning, middle, end. Could last for a week, a day. You have the Ten of Wands. It's a completion. It's responsibility, but it's a burden releasing itself. Now, generally, it's a burden, but I feel like this month, Leo, you're releasing this burden. You spent way too much time wondering, self-doubt, confused. What do they want from me? What do I want from them? What am I worth? No. We're not guessing anymore here, Leo. We know what you're worth. We know what you deserve. We know what is going to make you happy. So either release the burden of something that's not making you happy. And again, what's that cliche? What is that cliche saying of, let it go, and if it comes back to you, or let it go, and if it's meant to be, whatever, you get my drift. The 10 is saying, okay, release the burden, release the monkey on your back and say, hey, by the way, you no longer have a place here. You no longer have a burden in my life. My first completion is releasing you of that. I love you. I care about you. But if you're going to be a burden in my life, or if I'm not going to get what I need or want from you, or if there are lies or any type of deceit going on, or anything that makes me feel insecure, I release you from that. I love you, but I release you. And if they come back, then we'll talk. The next card you have is anything you're going to feel throughout the month. Could be the beginning, middle, end. Could last for a day, a week, etc. And you have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a holiness, an otherness. This is you looking in the mirror and saying, spiritually, what do I want? What do I deserve? like real Leo, because some of you, I swear to God, okay? And it's not just you guys, it's any other sign as well. Some of you go, but I deserve the best, but he only called me dumb once, or she only said I was stupid once, or what? Okay, enough. You know what you deserve. You know what you're worthy of. You know what makes you happy and what you should be gaining in your life. The High Priestess is here throughout the month to help you through that. The High Priestess is here throughout the month to tell you, Leo, put yourself in check. Okay? One of my favorite sayings last month, and it's coming out a bunch this month, is first time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me. And that's not to place blame, but it's to say, look, you know. We all know. We all have that inner voice that says, is this good or is it bad for me? And this month you have the universe on your side. Not that the universe is always on your side. Trust me. It's just we all choose to ignore the signs that we don't like because it doesn't fit what we want right in that moment, right? So the High Priestess is saying, hey, Leo. Oh, and wait, wasn't you reading something last month about, see the sun? She's back. He's back. The universe is saying, girl, guy, you're not paying attention to what I'm putting down here. You need to start paying attention. You're going to start noticing that this month. I should put this as like part 2, Leo, please see the signs, or I beg you to see the signs, or pay attention 2 feet, 1 foot in front of the other. All right, your hopes and fears for the outcome of the month is the King of Pentacles. You want what you deserve. Oh, hey, Leo, thanks for showing up. You want what you deserve. You deserve so much. You're a fire sign. You are like literally the person who can be on top of their game. But let me tell you, when a Leo falls, they fall hard. And we all do. But when a Leo falls, it's reputation, it's respect, and not anybody else feeling that way about you. That's internal. That's you feeling like less than. That's you feeling doubt, self-doubt. That's you feeling nobody's putting you in that position. The King of Pentacles, your wish is that for the outcome of the month is that, hey, I am on top of my game 100% and nobody can drag me down ever again. The King of Pentacles is businesslike. It has their shit together, is like, hey, I've got this. And not only are you hoping that maybe this partner shows up and they have this too, and they bring it to the table, but that you can shine again, that you can start this rebuilding instead of self-sabotaging. For some of you, that's what you've been doing. And the Fool is saying, hey, it's your new cycle. And the King of Pentacles is saying, hey, I'm showing up to the party. I'm not a page. I'm not a knight. I'm not a queen. I'm a king. Now, queens are good too. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the king is the top of the game. And this is saying that's where you're hoping to be.